Welcome to this video. In this video, we're going to talk about how do you increase your Facebook ads performance by up to 975%. Yes, you heard me correctly. It is possible. We do it day in, day out so that you get the context right and you get it, you realize why you should even listen to me. And this is not coming from a book or any course. So this is just one of our clients, one of my coaching members, to be honest. And his cost per impression was 985 rupees, and his cost per qualified appointment was 2,000 rupees. Now, what is that? He was running a VSL funnel, which is a video sales letter. He was running ads on Facebook and sending people from Facebook to a sales funnel where people were opting in, submitting the name and email, and was being directed to a video sales letter, a VSL. Technically a training, like technically a, book a call, but disguised as a training. You know what I'm talking about. So that's what he was doing. And these were the numbers. And then if whoever was interested, they were just booking a call with him. Now, you'll see that his cost per qualified appointment was 2,000 rupees and his CPM was about 985 rupees before we did what I'm about to share with you in this video. But whatever we did, after we did that, his CPM came down to 163 rupees. That's about 900% better. And his cost per qualified appointment went from 2,000 rupees to about 220 rupees. And you can see that he has gotten, qualified appointments at 220 rupees. That was insane. After we optimized. So what did we do? But most importantly, how do you figure out and how do you spot what are the things you can optimize in your funnels or your ads to increase your overall Facebook ads performance by up to 975%? That's what we're going to look at. Also, just to give you a quick background to this, we have talked about a lot of different things in the past on this channel itself. There are a couple of videos if you are also like you're just getting started or you're a beginner or you're at an intermediate level when it comes to media buying or running ads, you might want to check these two videos. You'll find these two videos on my channel. So how do you go about doing it? So first step for you is to knowing your current numbers. So this is about optimization, guys. This is not about you going out there and starting and trying to figure out what audience interest to target, who to target. There are any hidden audience interest. None of that shit honestly matters because this is all bullshit. I personally believe the actual truth, what you want to really, the game is all about knowing your numbers. So when it comes to optimization, because the name of the video is how to optimize and increase your Facebook ads performance by up to 975%. The game is to know your numbers. So that's how you start. This is where you start. So let's say, for instance, your ads are not performing as good as you want them to. This is how you will begin. Step one is to know your current numbers. So what are your total results? How many sales or registrations, whatever you're optimizing it for, depending on your funnel and your business type and your niche, you check out how many results, what are the results that you have so far. Say, for example, if it's conversions, then how many conversions? Then what's your current cost per result? You'll check that out, which is CPR. Then you'll check your current cost per mile, which is cost per impression. Then you will check your cost per click. Then you'll check your click-through rate. Then you'll check your outbound click. Then you'll check your LP, which is landing page view. And then you should be knowing. So a lot of times I see people, if you're just a beginner or you've not done things hands-on, then you will stop going beyond these numbers. But it is absolute must for you to look at these numbers, which are outbound click, landing page views, outbound click to landing page view rate, and landing page view rate to conversion rate. Simple शब्दों में अगर आपको समझाऊं, outbound click to landing page view rate का मतलब कितने लोगों ने क्लिक करा आपके एड पे, आपके लैंडिंग पेज पे जाने के लिए, और उनमें से कितने क्लिक्स में कितने लोग लैंडिंग पेज तक पहुंचे. That's one. Second, फिर जब जितने लोग पहुंचे लैंडिंग पेज में, लैंडिंग पेज पे, उतनों में से कितने कन्वर्ट हुए, डिपेंडिंग ऑन अगेन whatever it is that you're selling or doing, lead generation, selling something, a low ticket offer, whatever it is. Then once you know these numbers, so you need to head over to your ads manager, Facebook ads manager, and just take these numbers out. Okay. If you're a beginner and the Facebook ads manager confuses you, I'll tell you the best way of doing it. I teach the same way to my students and also my team, my internal team as well, that I just ask them to just, open a Google document and start writing things down because it becomes extremely easy and simple for you to understand. So take out these numbers. You can take a screenshot. You can pause the video, take a screenshot, and then you move to step 2. The step 2 is now you know your yesterday's number. You need to know your yesterday's numbers because now you know your current numbers, which is today's number, and you do it by the end of the day. So let's say around 11 p.m. or midnight, you take out these numbers for today. Then you compare these numbers with yesterday. So you go ahead and you take out your yesterday's numbers. What were your numbers like? Same, all the same metrics, the key performance indicators. These are our typical KPIs that we look at. And so it's the same, right? But not from today, from yesterday. We are doing a comparison, okay? Step 3 is then we need to go ahead and look at our best days numbers from the last 7 to 14 days. Again, depends what's your purpose and objective of optimizing, how bad it is, your performance has gone in the last few days that you want to optimize. So you want to know your best days numbers from the last 7 to 14 days. Typically, when we have a sales funnel performing decent, right, when it's performing at a in a stable manner, then we have a rule of or we have this stand SOP that we always go ahead and optimize and look at stuff at least once in 2 weeks, at least bare minimum, even if you're scaling an account. And even if it is performing good, we do it once in 2 weeks. Now, what type of optimization? Of course, you'll have to keep optimizing your ads every now and then, almost every day or every second day or every third day, especially Facebook ads. But what I'm talking about optimizing here is not just the ads level, but your overall funnel, like your landing page, like your other content on your headline, your landing page, like your headline, your sub-headline. That's also a part of optimization that will directly impact your ads performance, your marketing performance. So I'm talking about that level of optimization, which is a little advanced. And because that's how we make the results better. So we do that level of optimization at least once every 2 weeks, looking at the data, which I'm going to share with you just now. So I want you to remember that whenever you are in the optimization process or you're in the middle of, or you're thinking of doing an optimization, you should know your best days numbers from the last 7 to 14 days. Let's say there are a couple of days in the last 7 days or one day in the last 7 days, which was your best the best day for you. Then you want to take out the same key performance indicators, the same metrics of your best day as well. So you basically will have today's number, you'll have yesterday's numbers, and you'll also see the best day that you had in the last 7 to 14 days. This way, you'll have enough amount of data to help you do a comparison and not take any wrong decision, because that's the key. Now, once I tell this to people, right, the next question people ask me is, how do I start? Okay, now I have taken out these numbers, Rohan. How do I start? Where do I start from? So where to start in order to optimize? The first thing now you want to do is, when you take out these numbers, is that if you see a significant decrease in your landing page conversion rate, then you want to start tweaking your landing page first. So what I mean by this is, say, for example, you look at today's numbers, then you look at yesterday's numbers, and then you look at the best days numbers in the last week, say, for example, and you see there's a pattern, and you recognize a pattern, because the number one skill you must acquire is pattern recognition. So you observe that there is, as per the pattern, you observe there is a significant dip in your landing page conversion rate. Which means there's something that you want to tweak in your landing page first. So it's common sense. So start tweaking your landing page first. The reason why I'm emphasizing so much on it, because 1,000 times, I'm sick and tired of telling people this, that they think that their ads are not working because people are not interested to buy. But then I look at other things. For example, I look at their click-through rates, and that's like above the, it's just hitting the roof, and it's doing so well. Outbound clicks are also there, but the landing page is not performing, which means there's a mismatch. There's an offer to market mismatch, or there's a message to market mismatch. So the people who are coming on your landing page are not resonating with what it is that you are selling or telling them. So we'll start with tweaking your landing page first. Now, how do you do it? Of course, there are a million ways to do it, and you can probably find 1,000 videos, a million videos on YouTube who will teach you this, or a 500 rupee course on Udemy. But I'm going to tell you what we do. It is check Microsoft Clarity. If you don't have it, please install it. If you haven't yet, it is free to use and you can Google it. Microsoft Clarity, free to use. So you're going to check two things when you're using Microsoft Clarity. I'm going to show that to you in a bit. Heat maps for clicks and scroll depths, and recordings of user sessions to understand the user behavior better. How and what can we figure out from looking at the recordings of the user sessions and the heat maps for clicks and scroll depth? What can we figure out? I'm going to give you some tips on that as well. So what we're going to do is when we head over to Microsoft Clarity, we're going to compare the data, the same that you did to understand your ads performance, which means your best days, your best days numbers, yesterday's numbers, and today's numbers. So you're going to compare the data, which I will show you in a second. Doing so will help you figure out that the area for improvement in your landing page or sales funnels. So let me show you what I'm talking about. What I'm going to do is I have one of our clients' Microsoft Clarity account. So I'm going to head over to that account and I'm going to show you how it looks like, where to do things, where to change things and stuff. Okay. So when you log into your Microsoft Clarity, this is going to be, and assuming that you have it linked, it's going to look like this. This is the main home screen. This is how it looks like. And you can filter the data out. So I've filtered last 7 days. This is an active account. Once you do this, what you have to do is, if you will see and notice carefully, on the top, there's an option that says recordings, where I'm moving my mouse cursor. If you can notice carefully, you click on recordings over there to head over to recordings. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you the recordings, just a sample, so that you know what I'm talking about and why it is so important and why it is awesome for you to really like use these things when you're optimizing. And now these are different recordings. Of course, this one is not getting played. So I'm going to move on to the next one. Let's check this one out. And you'll see this is a recording of about 5 minutes and 24 seconds. And here's how the user is behaving. So it actually records user sessions. If you have not tried this, you should. It's a must. And you'll see how it is showing us the interaction that the user is doing with our landing page, which as a result of which we can figure out that, what it is that the user, where are users stopping the scroll? And if we want to then use that information to show them something that will influence their action or persuade their action and making them take the action that we want them to take, right? So once we figure this out, and I'll tell you what we figured out. So let's go to like another one. Let's go to like this, maybe this recording here, this session. So here we go. Now, I'll tell you why it is important. The reason why it is important for you to look at the recording sessions, I'll tell you in a second. But let's first move to, so this is what recording tells you. It shows you exactly where are this users stopping and reading or, consuming the content. And then you can use those particular areas to show them the most important pieces of content that you want them to see, which will influence or persuade their buying decision, initiate more checkouts, whatever it is that you're optimizing it for, as a result of which your overall marketing will actually become better, right? Like I'm not saying just Facebook ads, even if you're doing YouTube ads or any other source of traffic, this is how you do it. In this case scenario, it's Facebook ads. So this is recordings. And after you do go through the recordings, you head over to heat maps. Okay. Now, once you head over to heat maps, let me just go ahead and show you the heat maps here. Once you come under heat maps, you'll see on the top, first of all, please choose mobile view, because majority of your traffic is going to come from a mobile device. That's but obvious, common sense. And then what you want to do is you want to just go ahead and just check a few things. The first thing that I like to check are taps. The reason why I want to check taps, I'll tell you in a second. Now, this is one of the user sessions here, and it's actually telling us how many people came on this particular section, and how many out of those tried clicking on it somewhere. Okay, so that's what it tells you. Like, for example, you'll see here 31 people came, read this, stopped here for a second or so, but only one clicked. And even that probably is not a click. That person was from a mobile phone, accessing it from mobile phone. So probably उसने सिर्फ एक ऐसे tap करके scroll किया होगा, which is, this is probably counting it as a click. Could be, may not be. Let's scroll down a little bit more. This is subheadline. Then we have a video. This is what the structure was like before. This is a workshop. So this client of ours is doing a workshop. And you'll see that a lot of people I see, there are 16 clicks. 16 clicks happening on this at this particular spot, which is the schedule. As you can see, there are two other week schedule which were sold out, and there's one that's available. Now, people were probably thinking of it to be a button, and they were clicking on it, and 16 people, that's like 10% people clicked. So this kind of data is what it can tell you. So guess what did we do next? Pretty common sense, right? We hyperlinked that particular line of text, which was telling the user the next available slot for the workshop. And we hyperlinked it with the checkout link, which is the payment gateway link. And all of a sudden, the conversions increased. This was one. Second is, you will also be able to find sometimes, let's go back, you'll also see sometimes that people sometimes actually click on images as well. Like, of course, people are clicking here because they are initiating checkouts. But you'll also see that, like, for example, if I show you this, people are also here, there are 5 people who clicked on this particular image itself, which was the value stack, the offer stack image. So when people clicked on the value stack in the offer stack image, of course, we knew that if I put a hyperlink and if I could hyperlink the image as well, it can initiate more checkouts and maybe we'll get more conversions. So I tried that as well. But what I'm trying to tell you is, this is how you spot things and you figure things out. After you see the recordings and you see this data, you will be able to spot and figure out what can you tweak. Because what we realize is that if people are not watching the video as much and they're reading the headline, because we saw the user sessions and the recordings, we spent about a couple of hours to understand the data on this in this particular funnel, okay? And we optimize this as well. And that's how we realized, okay, we should change the structure. We should change the headline a little bit. Maybe we can shorten it. Maybe we can shorten the subheadline. Maybe we can change the words. And this data tells us how do you structure your landing page, or most importantly, the hero section, because usually people make a decision based on the hero section alone. So that's pretty much what we did. Now, that was about a quick walkthrough about on Microsoft Clarity. Now, of course, this is not a video to tell you everything about Clarity, because it's a pretty awesome tool. You can find a lot of tutorials on YouTube, but you get the idea, right? This is what we do. This is how we use the data, and we get the data to optimize different funnels for different clients. And this is how you can do it for yourself as well. So if after you see all the data that I just discussed with you today in this video, then here are the certain things that I want to share with you. I want to just give this to you, which is the first thing you want to tweak and test is a headline. So what did we change? We tweaked it and we made it shorter. That's what we did, because we saw that a lot of people were reading it. And we also observed, and I'll tell you a big important takeaway for you. Let's look at this heat map. So you'll see in the heat map, I saw when a lot of people were seeing actually, and there was a pause people were taking when they were reading the headline. When I observed this from the recordings of the user sessions, from the recordings and also the heat maps, we realized that this particular headline was talking about some pain elements. It was removing the pain elements, which was without following any law of attraction, without manifestation, and even without waking up early in the morning. But guess what was going on? The problem was that even though this was coming from the angle of polarity, which is going against the conventional wisdom, this client of ours was trying to come from the angle of doing something unique, right? To decrease the effort without manifestation, without using law of attraction techniques, or without waking up early in the morning. So she assumed that it's going to work, but it was not working. And guess why? Because the audience that she was attracting, they were not resonating with this to be as a pain point, as a problem area. They did not perceive these things, whatever she was talking about in the headline, to be as their problem area. They were not resonating with it. They did not agree with it. They were like, if I tell you, hey, you can increase your Facebook ads performance by 975% without logging into your ads manager ever. Then that may interest you, because now logging into the ads manager itself is like a big, massive task, and it scares the shit out of people. So this itself is going to attract you because it's a pain, right? So if it's a pain, then it's going to attract you. But if it's not a pain, it's going to work against you if you are the advertiser. And that's pretty much what I figured out after looking at the heat maps and recordings, that this client of ours, I think we should remove the without angles, because I think people are okay to wake up early in the morning. I think the people that she's attracting, they are okay to do law of attraction. I think the people that she's attracting are okay to use the manifestation techniques. So we don't really need to even use any of that. So and I was like, okay, then what should we do? What it should be? So based on that, we straight away went to making this change to the headline, and that significantly increased the performance. And I'm just going to give you a quick sneak peek here. Okay. So this is pretty much what it was. Break at least 70% of your limiting beliefs using 14-minute a day technique called divine amplification. This was the video. And you'll see that this is what we made it. This is how we changed it. But what it was before was this. Before we made any change, originally, this is what it was. Break at least this percent of your limiting beliefs in these many days without. So we took this off, we removed it. And as a result of it, her conversions started to do better, because landing page to conversion rate, because we observed those numbers. So it brings me back to what's the most important element for you when you're optimizing something, which is you first have to know your numbers, right? Your current numbers, which is from today, and then your yesterday's numbers, and then your best days numbers from the last 7 days. So when we did it for her in this example, we realized that in the last 7 to 14 days, we saw a significant dip in the landing page view to conversion rate. Because there was a significant dip in the landing page view to conversion rate, we knew that people who are coming and landing on the landing page are not resonating with the content. Then when I looked at the heat map and recordings, I realized that people are spending so much of time in the headline and subheadline sections. However, the problem with that is that spending so much of time but not getting the conversion rate, that means people are consuming the content, but they're not liking it. That means it's not influencing their buying decision, which means we need to change and tweak things around. So we not only just changed the headline, but we changed the structure as well. Instead of having the standard structure of headline, subheadline, and video, we changed it to headline, video, and then subheadline. So this is where I want to tell you that you can change the headline, subheadline, and video in case if you have any. Now, what kind of changes you can do to a video? You can do a new video. You can add an image overlay or a thumbnail to the video. You can use a GIF thumbnail, right? You can replace the video with a product or any offer stack image if you have. You can completely remove it. Remove the video completely by replacing it with an image or GIF, or push the video below the fold. You can even do that. You can even just completely push the video below the fold, not have it in the first initial sections. So the first hero section, I mean. Now you can also change the CTA, call to action button text and color. You can do that. That's exactly what we did in this case scenario. We changed the call to action button, and the result of this, of course, we made changes to the ads as well, which I'm going to come to next. But we also changed this for one of our other clients that I was showing you in the on this video before. So you can change the call to action button text and as well as color. You can even add hyperlinks to initiate more checkouts. If you observe that users are tapping a particular element on your landing page that I was talking about, like we observed that for this particular client of ours, a lot of people were tapping on that schedule part, the schedule section, and they were like unusually high number of clicks there, which is definitely not just a tap. These are definitely clicks. So we hyperlinked it. We linked it with the payment gateway, and then people the checkouts initiated and the conversions skyrocketed. So these are some practices you can do when it comes to optimizing your landing page first in order to increase your conversion rate, as a result of which you can definitely expect a lot better performance of your Facebook ads. Now, talking about the next thing, If you see a significant decrease in your click-through rates, or you see increase in your CPMs, start with your ads first. So let's say you're taking out this data that I talked about, and you have these three things, the data from today, yesterday, and the data from your best days number, whatever was your best in the last 7 to 14 days. And you're doing a comparison. After doing a comparison, you realize that your CTRs have significantly decreased, and or maybe your CPMs have significantly increased. So if that's the case, then you want to start with your ad level first. For this client of ours, the problem was at both this member of ours. The problem was not just with the ads, as well as the landing page. So we tweaked both the things the same way, following the same psychological principles that I'm sharing with you in this particular video, using the same tools like Microsoft Clarity for the landing pages. And for the ads, here's what we did. So if your CPM is too high, and if you're asking me if you comment and you ask me, Rohan, what is the ideal cost per impression or cost per mile? It honestly depends on your niche and a lot of other factors. Like, for example, some seasonal factors. Like the most recent one I can tell you, because when I'm putting this video on, it's November. Today is November 23rd. So there's the BFCM, which is Black Friday, Cyber Monday going on. So of course, the cost is going to be higher. So there are a lot of other factors as well that plays a role here. But typically, if it's not these factors, what could be the case and how can you battle? So if it's too high, if you spot a trend of this being too high, here's what you can do. You can try different variations of the current video ad that you're running. Make a note of this. And I'm telling you, if you try this, you will come and you will thank me later. And this information is worth lakhs. People are going to charge you lakhs and still not tell you this, because most of them are not even practitioners. So there you go. I just said it. So shorter video duration, keep it less than 45 seconds, nothing more than 45 to 50 seconds max. Let me put it 50 here. Nothing more than that. Keep it shorter. This gentleman out here, he had an ad which was 2 minutes, and the results you already know. His cost per impression was touching 1,000 rupees. We dropped it to 50 seconds, and you already know the numbers, right? It came down to 163 rupees, his CPM. So please keep a shorter video duration, no matter whoever tells you what. This is the recent, right now, in the now information, not something old that people will just talk about just to persuade you. This is real stuff. So remove overlay text if you have any, because we have observed lately, after running ads and doing performance marketing and advertising on Facebook for many people and helping our coaching members as well, that lately we have observed that Facebook is pushing video ads more which are the ones without any sort of overlay text. I'm not saying that it's going to be the same for you, but you can try doing this, okay? You can have a variation of this ad, different variations, right? So you can even have a variation with shorter video duration. You can have another variation which is without any overlay text. And you can have another variation which is by just editing a different hook, which is the first 1 to 10 seconds. And then you can keep the rest of the ad as the same. So you can do that. Now, you can even try different audience interests if the CPM is too high, because some people will tell you that. But I'm telling you out of experience that you will likely not see any sort of significant improvement in the cost per impression just by testing and changing your audience interest, because usually that's typically not the major reason why it's happening. Usually your answers, you will find your answer here. And if once you check all of these three variations or any of this or more kind of, if you can add more creativity, think of more different combinations, then definitely you will see a better outcome. Now, if your CTR is too low, because this was CPM too high, right? But if your click-through rate has gone low, and I want to keep reminding you, this is after you have observed and recognized a pattern. You have checked today's numbers, you have checked yesterday's numbers, and today's numbers is by you doing it in the end of the day, right? You have checked yesterday's numbers, and you have checked your best day's numbers from the last 7 to 14 days. After recognizing a pattern, you've seen a significant downfall, say, for example, in the click-through rate. And if that's the case, that's definitely to do with the ad. So you want to redo the same ad. If it was working well before, then please redo the same ad, which means your script works well. It's just that now you probably want to do the same script with some different visuals. So you can change the background. You can do the same script, but at a different location. You can change your clothes and the location together. You can edit the ad differently. You can use different visual effects, transition effects, audio effects, etc. And you can also do, as I told you before, you can do a new hook. So you can keep the same ad, but what you can do is you can change the first 10 to seconds, 1 to 10 seconds. We use these hacks a lot, and one of our clients, another done for you client, which is the advertising side of my business, uh, he did not like we have been running his one ad from last like his 2 to 3 ads from last 3 months. We have not changed the ads. All that we do is we keep tweaking the hooks. That's it. So जो end में था उसको first में कर दिया, जो middle में था उसको first में कर दिया. So starting of the ad we kept on changing, so it just gives a new flavor to the market, and just Facebook is just going to treat that as a different ad. It's going to push it more. And you can keep the rest of the content the same, just change the hook. So you redo the same ad if your CTR has gone low, but you should prefer doing this only if your ad was working well before and lately has stopped working. That's when you should test these things, okay? If not, then definitely a new ad, and you should do a new ad. You should try a brand new script. You can keep the same visuals as before. You can test keeping the same visuals as before, or you can even have different visuals if you like. Okay, so these are some hacks that I wanted to share with you after helping someone skyrocketing their conversions in low ticket funnels for digital products, also helping someone decrease their cost per appointment from 2,000 rupees to 220 rupees, cost per impression from 900, almost 1,000 rupees to like 163 rupees. And this is all coming from the experience of doing things, playing the game, not just throwing some gyan. Okay. So I hope that this video added some value. If you truly like this video, then I want to request you to please hit that like button. Also subscribe to this channel, because I like to talk about life, marketing, and everything in between. The reason why I say life, marketing, and everything in between is, for me, there are two extreme ends in life for me. One is the life itself as a whole, which is my family, mindset, and everything that I want to talk about. And the other extreme end is marketing, because that's my passion area. So I share a lot of such valuable content. You'll see my last few videos are all about candid talks, where I'm, sitting somewhere here, there, and just talking my heart out, unedited videos, just as you see here, no editing, nothing fancy. So if you like such kind of content and you want such more real stuff and more detailed videos, like this one was more like on optimization. And in case you want to go ahead and learn more about something else from me, about Facebook ads, Microsoft Clarity that we talked about here, then you can leave a comment, but I'll only consider doing that if you are a subscriber. Okay, so please subscribe to this channel, share if you can, but if you can't, that's all right, no problem. But at least you can subscribe to this YouTube channel. Please do so. Also, if you like this, then I'm pretty sure that you're going to like these two videos as well. So make sure that you check these out as well, because this is also, again, with proof. So you can check them out, and I'm sure that you're going to get a ton of value. This is Rohan signing off. I'm going to see you inside the next video. Have a great, great night, because it's 7:11 p.m. on the 23rd of November. This is not an old video. This is 23rd November 2023. Okay. I'm going to see you inside the next video. Have a good one. Bye-bye.